Hey, what's up? This is Grady with Triple Z Resale. This is my first ever live video. So if this all goes horribly wrong, that's why. I'm an amateur at live streaming. The interesting thing though is that I don't have to do any of the work that I normally do to put into a video. I like to get really creative and, do an intro and do like some letter, like a letter introduction and like put my kids in it, and I do all these things. So this is just going to be me talking about what I bought today at 4 different sales that I went to. It was truly a local, keep it in your neighborhood kind of day. I live by downtown Tucson, and there was an estate sale downtown in a historic neighborhood called Armory Park. Then there was a rummage sale for like a women's art collective that they do this like once or twice a year. I've been to that sale before, and that was right on the edge of Armory Park. And then after that, I went to 2 thrift stores. I went to the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, which is a Catholic charity thrift store, and I went to, oh no, now I'm going to forget the name of it. It benefits children's music programs and provides instruments for children who can't afford to have instruments, and so they can still be in their school bands and things like that. God, what is that one called? They're only open 3 days a week. I think it's called Thrifty Penny or Penny Thrift or something like that. They're only open 3 days a week, and they always have interesting stuff. So, uh-oh, my battery's running low. Hold on. See, these are the kind of technical glitches that I just not prepared for. So, all right, I think we're ready to go. Let me start showing you some stuff. This is kind of like an unboxing video because even though I did just buy all this stuff, it's a lot of it, like I didn't spend a bunch of time looking at it or researching it. A lot of this is unresearched stuff, so I may not even be able to explain exactly what it is. So this first sale was the estate sale. It looked like it from the Craigslist ad. I could tell it was going to be full of collectibles and antiques and high-end stuff. It's in a neighborhood where people would have a house full of interesting things. And the cool thing about this one is that they weren't starting until 10 a.m. Only estate sales start at like 7 in the morning here because it gets hot really quick. And this one didn't start until 10. I got there at like 9:50. Thinking, that like I'd get in line, and then they didn't open the sale until like 10:15. So everyone was standing around. There's a huge line of people. But then we finally get to go in the house, and it was treasure hunting for sure. So let me show you a few of the things I bought there. So this is a strand of turquoise beads. I don't know how well you'll be able to see the quality. So I don't know exactly where this turquoise came from. I'm going to do some research based on what I know about turquoise, which is a decent amount. I've been helping to buy and sell turquoise for family businesses since I was about 12 years old. I don't believe this is Chinese. I don't believe that this is super contemporary. I think that these beads are probably from Arizona. It might be Sleeping Beauty. It might be from Bisbee, and it looks like high quality. I don't think the color is going to turn out, but it's got a very green color. It's not quite as turquoise as a lot of turquoise. This has got a fair amount of green in it, and so it's heavy, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I'll probably just sell it as a strand of turquoise because turquoise is highly collectible. Keep that in mind if you're not familiar with like Indian pawn jewelry or the turquoise market. So here's the thing about turquoise is that most turquoise now is coming from China. China has lots of turquoise reserves that haven't been tapped. The American Southwest is tapped out of turquoise. I mean, there's a little bit of it still being produced, but mostly it's gone. Like the good Bisbee turquoise and the Sleeping Beauty mine and all of that, they're not really producing a lot of turquoise. So turquoise actually is going up in value. So if you get the chance to buy a bunch of old turquoise, I would suggest you do it. I mean, it's an investment. I could literally like sit on this and sell it in a year, and it would probably be worth even more than it's worth today. So that's the first thing. This is a coral bracelet. So it's like one of those stretchy bracelets. Let's see if you can get a good look at the coral, see the quality of it. So this is, I believe, natural coral natural polished coral. I can see from the fact that it has a lot of imperfections that it's real. It looks like some of it has been filled with resin. So a lot of times, because coral tends to be so like full of holes, that a lot of times when it's being produced for jewelry, they'll fill it with a resin, which isn't a bad thing. It's most likely dyed, and it's most likely been filled a little bit with some kind of resin. But nonetheless, it's very high quality coral. It's got very beautiful markings. You can see the actual strands of coral. Like, you can see the shape of it. I've seen enough coral that I know kind of what I'm looking at. And so I'm looking at branches of coral that have been nicely polished. So even though this is kind of a chintzy little bracelet, I still think that it's quite valuable. Same thing is true of coral that's true of turquoise, which is that old red turquoise is really hard to find. Mediterranean turquoise is really hard to find. It's mostly been farmed out. Our oceans are dying, like everything. We're exploiting the earth. Like, it's getting crazy. So it's hard to find old coral. And so when I get a chance to buy good quality coral, I always do. And I have never had a problem reselling it. One time I bought a strand of vintage coral at a thrift store. They had it in the costume jewelry section because it was so ugly looking, because it like had all these defects, and it didn't look fancy, because a lot of times really authentic coral doesn't look fancy. I bought it for $2 and I sold it at auction for like $100. So I'm a fan of buying coral. Next up, we have these really cool tribal style necklaces. I bought 2 of these. This one, I realized once I bought it, is missing the clasp. So there's a second part of the clasp that would go here. Regardless, I think that this is going to be valuable. It is handmade, probably like a silver alloy, like a mix. So this is, in case you're not familiar with this looks like Afghani jewelry to me, like Afghanistan. And it, in case you don't know, we've been having a war there for like 20 years. And so it can be quite hard to get genuine Afghani stuff these days. A lot of times the genuine Afghani stuff is actually sold as being from Pakistan, because it has to be smuggled out of Afghanistan in order to even make it to American marketplaces. But you can see this is quite big. You can see like the hammer, like the handmade texturing of it. It's not totally smooth. It's kind of rough because this is handmade. And so this is like a big necklace, and it's got a little damage to it, and it's missing the clasp. I might not have bought it if I'd realized that, but at estate sales, I kind of just have to like shoot from the hip and grab stuff. And then this one has a nice design on it. Also handmade, very beautiful. So I'm not sure what these are worth. I didn't do research on them, but I've seen enough stuff like this in my life. And I've definitely known a lot of people who resell Asian tribal goods. So I picked up both of those. So I'm going to show you one more thing from that estate sale, and then we're going to move on to the other sales. So this is a designer jacket. Designer jacket made by Merchant Prince. I don't know who this designer is. I paid like $30 for this jacket, which is a whole lot for me. I don't normally spend that kind of money, but I'll tell you why I spent that type of money for this. It appears handmade. It appears to be probably a one-off, one-of-a-kind item made by a clothing designer. The guy at the sale thought it was from like Santa Fe, maybe, that it was made in Santa Fe. So it appears to have been made with genuine Navajo rug. Tell if it's a real Navajo rug. And this has all the markings of it. And so to buy, here's the back. So to buy a Navajo rug is quite expensive. I could have spent $30 just simply on this rug. And you can see here, there's a little bit of fringe on it, which may actually be the fringe from the rug. I'm not entirely sure. It has these really beautiful buttons that look like it has MP on it. It's got this really nice liner. It has this inside pocket with Navajo textile on it. And so this is just a very unusual jacket. I'm going to try and sell it for like $300, $400, $500. Hopefully that designer is a famous artist or someone who's actually known, and then that would make it more valuable. So either way, I'm quite sure I'll get my money back on it because it's just a really, really unique thing. The other thing I bought at that sale, which I'm not going to be able to show you the whole thing, but it's a kimono. I bought a Japanese style kimono. So you can see here some of the pattern of it. And that's all I'm going to show you from that sale. Now we're going to move on. I will show you what I bought at the Artist Collective. So this is for, I think it's called Woman Craft, like, and it's craft, I think with a K, Woman Craft. And they've had a couple sales. It's a cool house, like historic house on Stone, you know, by downtown Tucson. And it was a little hard to find things in there just because it was really busy and like narrow. But I managed to find a few things. So this is a pair of Fin Comfort women's shoes. They look kind of like nursing shoes, like Dansko's a little bit. And you might be wondering why I bought these. Fin Comfort, they're made in Germany. They're hard to find. They always sell good on eBay. At least they did, like, 6 months ago when I sold the last pair. I had a pair that I think I sold for $50 and they sold within a week. So I didn't even look them up to see what they were selling for now. I'm just quite sure that these, especially because they're white and they're super, super clean, I should probably get a good price for these. I bought some Allen Edmond and Florsheim. I think these are like polishing gloves, right? Like, they can either hold a boot, right? Because it has a little drawstring. So you can either put a shoe in here, or I think you also use this as like a buffer. I'm not totally sure, but I bought 2 Allen Edmonds and 2 Florsheim ones. I think I paid $1 for all of it. So I'm happy with that. They'll either get used or someone will buy them as like a vintage collectible item. And the most valuable thing I bought at that sale is this really, really beautiful teapot. I happen to know a lot about ceramics, and I could tell from seeing this in the case that this was a high quality piece. There, I think that's the more attractive side. I think I could tell it was a high quality piece, and it has nice accent, has very, very nice shape. The curve of this, the way the spout goes out. So normally teapots like this are made in 3 pieces. So this is thrown on the wheel. This part here is thrown on the wheel. This part is made separately and then attached. And then the lid is also thrown on the wheel separately. So there's 3 different pieces. And then the handle is added as a 4th piece. So sure, I'm sure a lot of you have seen like pretty teapots in thrift stores. So what makes this one valuable? Well, what makes this one valuable is who made it. So you can see on the bottom there, it says Jugtown, and it says 1998. So while I was at the sale, I looked up Jugtown, and there was 4 of these for sale on eBay for between $130 and $150. I looked up the sold listings, and one had actually sold for close to $150. So I'm confident that over time, this one will sell for that. And in fact, this one has a much more beautiful glaze than some of those did. This has a really nice green turquoise look. I know my lighting on this video is a little on the light side, so it's looking blue, but it has a really beautiful blue-green look to it. And this is a name brand item, if you will, a name brand piece of ceramic art. So I bought that for $20. And I was quite happy with it. Okay, let me show you what I got at the penny thrift store. And I'm just going to show you a few things. What they were having is they were having a bag sale. So they gave me a paper bag, like paper shopping bag, and I could fill it up with clothes for $5. And so I did. I bought some women's jeans. I bought a wool sweater from Italy. I bought, what else? I bought a pink polo, like Kanye West style pink polo, Ralph Lauren. But I'm not going to show you all that stuff because this is going to be like a forever long video. We're already at almost 15 minutes. So I'm going to show you a few things that I just thought are cool and vintage. So This is an apron, vintage apron. It's in good condition. It doesn't have any stains. It doesn't have any damage. And so I just thought that was cool. And I figured since, you know, it was small, I'd just throw it in the bag as part of my $5 purchase. Now I'm going to show you a handmade item, a vintage handmade item. This is not, this is a vest. It's not made by a clothing designer, but it does feature something that is near and dear to my heart, which is Hopi kachinas. So this fabric seems to show authentic Hopi kachina designs of specific kachinas that have, like, you know, important spiritual significance to the Hopi tribe. And there's the backside. And it has this nice little, it has this nice wood button with a loop, and that's how you close it up. And so, yes, I know this is not like normally what you would see in this kind of video, but I like unusual things, I like vintage things, and I like Native American things. So boom, that hit all three for me. So I bought it, and hopefully you'll see it in a what sold video coming up soon. So after that, what else? One more thing. I have a belt to show you from that store. A crab belt. So this is a Brooks Brothers belt featuring a crab design, size large, and I think I paid a couple dollars for it. It was funny, the woman, because, you know, I was like, oh yeah, let me get a bag, I'll fill it up with clothes. And then, you know, I was looking through all the women's clothing and stuff, and she kept being like, oh, you know, the men, you know, we have men's clothing too, you can, like, and then she like walked me back to the men's clothing. I think it was making her a little uncomfortable that I was like rifling through all the women's stuff, which isn't the first time that's happened. I could care less, honestly. People shop however they shop. So she can think whatever she wants. I'm going to have a good time reselling the women's items that I bought today. And then I bought 2 pairs of shoes there. Bought a pair of Michael Kors shoes that have the calf hair on it, with like a leopard print. So I thought, and these are very, very clean. And I think this is the right Michael Kors to buy. Some of his brands are like low end and some of them are high end. And I didn't look this one up. I just bought them. So if I find out they're worth like $5 on eBay, then they may just be a giveaway. But either way, I thought with the calf hair and the good condition that I should buy them. So I got those. And I also bought a vintage pair of Salvatore Ferragamos. Ferragamos always sell. They don't always get the price that I want, but 100% of the pairs of Ferragamos that I have bought, I have been able to resell. So I bought those. So here's the cool thing about this sale. The lady was super nice because I probably had about, like, I don't know, $17 worth of stuff, you know, including the bag for $5. And she was just like, I'll give it to you all for $8. And she gave it to me for $8, which was such a good deal. And I was so grateful. I think it was because I was really friendly with her and I chatted her up a little bit when I first got there and told her about the different sales that were going on in the neighborhood and stuff. And so sometimes making that personal rapport with the store manager, the cashier, makes a big difference when it comes to checkout time. You know, if you're in there like being obnoxious or they think you're in there to steal stuff, obviously they're not going to give you a good deal. If they like you and they want you to come back, because I told her like I come here like every couple months to shop in your store, then she gave me a good deal. So I'm super happy about that. So let me see. Then I went to one more thrift store after that, the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, downtown at the 5 Points intersection. And this is one of my favorite thrift stores. I generally find stuff there. This was actually one of the weakest shopping trips I've had there in a long time. I just didn't find stuff. They had clothing on sale. They had shoes on sale. They had a lot of stuff on sale. They just didn't have what I personally was looking for. But I did buy one collectible item, which is I bought 6 of these Diet Pepsi Cola bottles. This is a 32-ounce clear glass bottle for Diet Pepsi, and I bought 6 of them. I'm not sure how old these are. I did look these up, and there's one person on eBay selling this bottle. They're asking $23 for it. I paid about like $1.25 for each bottle. So I may just underprice that person, or I may try and sell all 6 together as a set and just get them out, because sometimes glass takes a long time to sell. So maybe I can auction all 6 of them, and some, Pepsi aficionado will buy them. And really the value in this to me is that it has the lid, right? It has the lid on all of them, which is really cool, because usually this would be without the cap. And it's a Pepsi item, and Pepsi is a big major brand still, and a collectible brand, and people like that stuff. So that's all I bought there, was those glass bottles. And then I came home and I was like, man, I should do a live video and just show all this stuff off, because I bought a lot of neat stuff today. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm not sure I have anything else to say. I have a bunch more stuff that I bought, but I just feel like I've showed you enough. I mean, I got to leave a little bit of mystery, right? Otherwise, what will I do in the next video? So at this point, I've got about 2 hours in my workday left. I'm going to start photographing some of this stuff and getting it listed. So thanks so much for checking out my first live video. And there will be more live ones to come. I really appreciate all the people that check out my videos on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, all that stuff. Thumbs up. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye. Uh-oh, I don't know how to end the stream. How do I end the stream?